Hi, this is Lisa, and today I just wanted to do a quick video to show you some brands that I'm excited about looking for this year. These are brands that I have come across once or twice that were new to me and either did well or I looked them up and they had really promising numbers. So since on this channel we mainly focus on sell-through rate, I'm going to be sharing those numbers with you as we go along. So the first brand that was new to me, I sold a pair of these a few months ago. It's called Birdies, and what they make is like little smoking flats primarily. They call them slippers. They're dressy enough for sure that you could wear them out with a dress or something. You wouldn't have to just use them as house slippers, in my opinion. So I looked up Birdie's slippers and I filtered down to pre-owned, and there are only 2 available right now, and there are 11 sold. And I did include auctions and buy it now in this particular one just because there were so few comps. But I came across these in a little local thrift store, so they are out there. They're beautiful shoes. The ones that I found were calf hair and they really stood out as being high quality. So let's just take a look. You can see the prices are really strong, 50, 85. Some of these best offers were accepted, so we're not quite sure. The pair that I sold did go for 95 and it sold fairly quickly. So let's just take a closer look at one of these and maybe you'll be able to see sort of the logo in there a little bit better. Oops. Here we go. So that's the logo, and the pair that I found did have this kind of gold quilted inner insole too. And then there's all different styles, and you can go on their website and actually look up the name. Each shape has a little bit of a different name, and that'll help you when you do your listings. So hopefully some of you can come across these because they're a good thing to be looking out for right now. And I kind of divided this into clothing and shoes. So here is another brand of shoes that I have been desperately hoping to run across. I found a pair last year and I ended up auctioning them off. I think I paid $4 plus tax for them at the time, and I auctioned them off for $175 or something like that. So I have been really hoping to run into this brand again. It's called Rothy's. And again, it's these kind of flat shoes. I believe that they're made out of recycled plastic or something like that. And when they become retired like these, they get even more desirable. But even the ones that aren't retired have pretty strong pricing, as you can see. And this is a shoe that in a thrift store is probably only going to be marked $4 or $5. There's not much of a chance that your thrift stores are going to be onto this brand. It's kind of like how LuLaRoe used to be, where there's unicorn patterns, so some of the discontinued stuff can really do well. So we'll just take a look at this one, although I think you can basically see the logo in there pretty good, but there we go. That's what you're looking at there, and I think if I remember right, the insoles come out and you can wash them. They didn't stand out to me when I found them as being like, I wasn't expecting them to be as valuable as they were for sure, but they did catch my eye, and there's a reason that I found them in the first place, so that's another one to be keeping an eye out for. So let's talk about sell-through real quick. I filtered this for pre-owned and buy it now. I like to filter out auctions for the most part, except on items that are kind of generally sold on auction. So what I got was 64 available. And then let's go back and look at the sold number here because I didn't write it down. 502 sold. So that's excellent. Am I still on? Yep, I'm still on pre-owned and buy it now. So that is a really, really upside down sell-through rate. That means that if you find a pair of these, as long as you price them reasonably compared to the comps that you see, it's a good bet that they're going to sell pretty darn quick. another shoe brand, and again, what I found in this brand was smoking flats. I really like smoking flats. They just stand out to me for some reason. So this brand is M Gemi, or maybe M Gemi, and they do make women's and men's shoes. So for women's shoes, pre-owned, buy it now, there were 93 available and 83 sold. So that's not upside down, but it's pretty good. And in men's, there were only 11 available and 8 sold. So again, not upside down, but still in the good range. And the prices are really strong on these. So I think if you wanted to make sure you were going to sell them really fast, just make sure that you put a very reasonable price on them. But you can see here 83, 45, 70. The ones that I sold, I think, did go in the $80 range, and actually they got returned for not fitting and then sold again super quick. So twice for me they sold super quick. The pair I had was calf hair, and they were like a cheetah print calf hair smoking flat, very much in this sort of shape. So there's another brand to be looking out for, another brand that the thrift store is not likely to know anything about. And this is the fourth brand of shoes that I wanted to show you, and this is kind of the specific style. I've come across it twice. They make boots and some other kinds of shoes, but this style seems to have a following. It's called the driving moccasin or driving mock. So the brand is called Twisted X. Let's just go up here. So I typed in Twisted X driving mocks. They come in men's and women's sizes, and the results that you're seeing are a mix here. There were 14 available and 24 sold, so they are upside down. That's pre-owned and buy it now items. And the two that I found were both kind of this style that I would generally call like a chukka boot. And one pair I wasn't able to buy because of the condition, which was a bummer, but the first pair sold really quick for me in like the $45 range. So you can see the prices on here are pretty strong for, again, a shoe that your local thrift stores are probably not aware has value. And here's a great picture of the logo. See if we can get this zoomed in on. Ooh. Nope. There we go. So these ones actually say Twisted X boots. However, some of them will only have the X and they won't say Twisted X. So it's really good to know. It's like, I think, reminds me of a little piece of barbed wire. So you're not always going to see Twisted X, but if you know that X logo, it's something to look for. Now, if you find this in other styles, the sell-through is okay for some of the styles, but not always super desirable. So like I said, this is the style I'm familiar with. I do have a pair of actual like cowboy boots that haven't really gotten a lot of attention in my store. So I would say if you come across this in the wild, make sure you look up comps on the actual style and look at those sell-through numbers before you decide to buy them. So now let's get into a few clothing brands here. This is Crimson Clover. And I came across two of these dresses fairly recently at the thrift store. One of them I haven't listed yet, I have to do a stain treatment on it, but the other one sold really quickly, and it was kind of in this shape, and it was merino wool, which I didn't even realize when I bought it. I just thought, oh, it's a nice knit dress. I looked up the numbers in the store and realized that this brand was doing well. So when I looked today, at pre-owned, buy it now, there were 76 available and 73 sold, so that's not quite upside down. Then I filtered out for just dresses and got 23 available and 25 sold, so the dresses were just a little bit upside down in their sell-through rate. So remember, when there's more sold than available, that means there's a greater likelihood that item's going to sell fast. So you can see, again, this is a brand with pretty strong pricing on it. And let's just go in and see if this person gave us a nice photo of the tag. Yep, there we go, Crimson Clover with K's. The tags on mine look just slightly different than that. They were still red, and they said Crimson Clover, so not hard to find. This is a brand I've come across a couple times now, and it's called Beta Brand. It's a brand out of San Francisco. I think they're actually probably made in China, but the brand is from San Francisco. And this is the style that I've found. It's called their dress yoga pant, and basically you might find it with the women's dress pants, or you might find it with the athletic pants, because it's like a pull-on waist that's meant to be a very comfortable pant that you could essentially do yoga in and go to work in without anybody thinking that you're wearing yoga pants. So let's go ahead and take a look. Today when I did the numbers, there were 133 items in this brand that were pre-owned and buy it now, and 449 sold, so that is a great sell-through rate again. Like I said, they're known for this particular style of pants, so this is going to be the highest, but I have found dresses. I recently listed a dress, and I have one more dress to list, so I'm really interested to see how those go. So there you go. That is the logo on these. Now this is a brand that you're probably aware exists, but maybe like me you didn't know that there was an athletic line. So this is Lilly Pulitzer, and the line is called Luxletic. I was super surprised by the general pricing people were getting for these. That's why I wanted to include it. If you go through the athletics and you're just kind of scanning for Lululemon and things like that, you might miss some of these. They do have these bright patterns that catch your eye for the most part, but so many of the leggings that are kind of in the general activewear aisle will have these bright patterns, so if you're not going through one by one, you could be missing this brand. So under the search term Lilly Pulitzer Luxletic, there were 109 pre-owned buy it nows available and 170 sold, so that's a nice upside down sell-through rate. You can see these ones went for $94.99. That's pretty darn high, but $40 to $50 is not unusual. This pair is actually the pair that I just sold. I was hoping that this would land in one of my What Sold Fast videos, but I'm limiting those to items that sell in 1 month, and I think these took like 32 days to sell. But you can see I got $46 for them. I know at the thrift stores I go to, I generally pay $3.99 plus tax for leggings. They do know Lululemon and a couple other brands that they'll mark up, but these said Lilly Pulitzer right on the leg, and they were still marked at kind of their base price of $3.99, so that was a great pickup. I'm definitely keeping an eye out for this Luxletic brand again. And then the last brand to show you is a denim brand. I always like adding new denim brands to the things that I'm looking out for. This is called Cowgirl Tough. Now you're going to notice that the prices are a little bit all over the board. I wouldn't say that this is going to sell for a lot of money every time, but let's see, there were 333 sold and only 165 listed. So they do have an upside down sell-through rate. It seems to me that similar to brands like Miss Me, the more desirable ones are going to be sort of more blinged out or distressed or things like that, and the plain ones are maybe not such a good pickup. So you can see 45, 30, these ones only went for 20. They look like they might be a little plain. I don't know what the pockets look like on that. There's a nice pair they took a best offer on. So I sold mine in the $24 range, I believe, the first ones I had ever picked up. But because they sold fast and have a good sell-through rate, I'm definitely interested in keeping an eye out for them. And we'll just get you a little bit of a close-up here. You can see that the brand is just stitched right there. And this one actually has the style. I believe the ones that I found did too. Has the style right in the waistband. So don't just find this brand and buy it. Find this brand and look up the actual style name and make sure that it has a great sell-through rate before you decide to purchase it, but it's something to look out for. So that's all that I wanted to show you today. Thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned if you want to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more of my What Sold Fast videos coming up here. We're going to talk about items that took less than a month to sell and how I determined that those were good items that were likely to sell quickly. Until then, have a great day. Thanks a lot.